This is where the fun begins.
Yeah, from the Ozarks to every fan nationwide, we live every game with Arkansas pride, breaking down the action, calling it like it is. This is where the faithful gather inside the Hawg pen. Pull up a seat, you're home inside the Hawg pen.
Oh boy! What's up, everybody? Welcome to season 10 of Inside the Hawg Pen. Don't adjust your TV screens. Don't adjust your YouTube channels. It's me, your boy, Razorback Zach, once again, back at it here at home in the Central Arkansas Hog Pen. I'm excited to be back, but I didn't come alone like always. From the NEA Hog Pen, I've got the man, the myth, the legend, who makes me look good every week. And he is the professionally proven glue that holds the whole damn thing together, Marcus MC Carlton. What's up, dude? Season 10.
Season 10, and I just realized I've got us on the wrong side.
Look,
I just realized that we've been sitting here talking for 30 minutes, and I just realized, wait a minute, I'm in the wrong seat, so I may try to fix that during the break.
But I want to welcome everybody in for season 10, man. Got a lot to talk about, so we're going to jump right into it. Do we have to talk about football? Because you know how I feel about it.
Well, I mean, we have to. I mean, it's coming up, and it's going to happen whether we want it to or not. So we gotta talk a little football. That ought to tell you exactly where both of our enthusiasm levels are at.
Well, okay, but and we want you guys. This is y'all's show, so we want you guys in. So if you've got an opinion, you got a question for us, you got stones to throw, whatever. Hit us up in our live fan feedback. We're gonna try to get to you. We try to get to all comments on during the show, but we want to talk to you guys. All right. So if I have to do this, my optimism is not there. Y'all know me, okay? Y'all know me. When it comes to football, right about this time, I'm drinking a Kool-Aid, going 8-4. Yeah, I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. Ryan Silverfield took the podium last Thursday, I do believe.
Yeah. Yep.
First time as the Arkansas head coach. He nothing flashy. No bold guarantees. No, I don't want to say coaches speak because he kind of did it like everybody else did. He did make one thing very, very clear though, and that is this is a complete rebuild of Arkansas football.
Yeah.
An absolute complete rebuild of Arkansas football, and he kind of emphasized the fact that it's going to be built right.
Yeah, he did. And the one thing that stuck out to me, and I don't know that he said this at the podium, but he said it when he was doing like the Radio Row thing where he was talking to a bunch of media people at once. You know, they kept talking about the recent history of Arkansas and all that. And he was quick to point out, he's like, hey, look, you know, yeah, there's been struggles in the past, but what has happened in the past has no bearing on what we're going to do from this point forward. So I like the fact that he's kind of torn the rearview mirror off, and he's forcing himself, and he's trying to force everybody else to look ahead because, you have to. In this situation, you know, yeah, okay, the last few years has been pretty terrible, but you can't dwell on that, okay? This is a new start. This is hitting the reset, literally hitting the reset button.
Well,
and you take over and you just try to build.
How many transfer he had like what 60?
Oh my God! It was like
30 to 60 new players or something like that?
Something ridiculous. I mean, it was above 60. I know that.
Yeah, and again, football. We all know what happened last year. We're going to get into that. Compare it going into this season. Like I said, when ITHP comes back, you know football's right around the corner.
Yeah.
One of his biggest message though was the culture.
Yep.
You know, the night he came in, the very first night he came in, story is he's been changing light bulbs, and we're not going to get into that until later in the show because I'm about to.
Lights are a sensitive topic for Zach so far.
Our athletic director would like to all the way come on upstairs. All right, I'm just going to say it. But he repeatedly emphasized things like accountability, discipline, toughness, daily improvement. The one thing he didn't want to dwell on, because everybody kept asking him about the 2-10 season.
Yep.
That was not him.
Right.
But here's the other thing. I did speak to D-Mad, had dinner with him a few nights ago. Fatherhood has done great. Little one's getting big. Happy belated birthday to him, by the way.
Coming up on 1 year for the little one.
Yeah.
Wow.
She was hilarious at dinner, by the way.
That's awesome.
I asked him his opinion, and he said 6-6. And I said, okay, tell me why. And he says, think about it. This is not last year's team. Everybody is basing this off of last year's team. This is not that team. He said it's a complete, like we said a minute ago, it's a complete rebuild. All right. The focus, I think, for this coaching staff is creating a sustainable winning program rather than chasing, the instant gratification, the quick fix.
Yeah.
It may not happen in year one. Hell, it may not happen in year two. But he's building like Calipari did. He's taking what Muss started and building off of that.
Well, and one thing that is no fault of Silverfield's, but it's going to work against him, is what Cignetti has done at Indiana.
Oh,
if you look at that, Indiana was the program with the most losses in NCAA history, and in 3 years' time, he took them to the national title. 2 years.
His first year, he went 11-1.
Yeah, went 11-1 first year, and then second year,
he won everything.
Yeah. Now, so there's two ways you can look at that. The way that I choose to look at it is, if it can happen in Indiana, it can happen literally anywhere. Because nobody in the history of the game had more losses than Indiana football. And for them to go and do what they did, it may be a unicorn, it may be lightning in a bottle, and it may not ever happen again, but it happened. And, okay,
let me ask you this, though.
Uh-huh.
If it happens again, it's not a flash in the pan. That's got to be, okay, Cignetti's the real deal.
Yeah.
And he did this, and again, for those of you that don't know, he did this with no 3 stars on this team. And he did it, and now that we're paying players, he did it for less than $30 million.
Yeah.
$30 million in 2-star players.
And he kind of called his shot, too, because
most of his roster came from JMU.
Yeah. Yeah, he had a lot of guys come with him from JMU, a Sunbelt team, a G6 team that came with him. And then he went and found – here's what he did. He went and found guys that were constantly being told, man, you're a good player, but you're not that elite power 4 level. So he went and found a bunch of guys that were older and had that chip on their shoulder and something to prove. And it was the perfect fit, and they all bought in. Now, the question is, with all these guys that Silverfield has brought in, is he trying to do that same thing? Is he trying to get some of these guys to come in that maybe have a chip on their shoulder? Maybe some of these guys that he brought with him from Memphis. Maybe Sutton Smith or is it AJ Hill? Is that the quarterback? Yeah,
AJ Hill from Memphis. Yeah. So here's the and I know we talked about it a lot last year, and especially we talked about it right after Sam Pittman was fired. And it seems like every if you look in the last 25 years, I did some research. I know, right? Me doing research. What? In 25 years, Arkansas has had the most head coaches more than any other SEC school in 25 years. Okay? That's wild. But I'm going to ask you this, and we're gonna strip it away, okay? And honest answers here. And I want to get the fans involved too. So you guys chime in on our live fan feedback. Can a culture change alone? Can culture alone change a football program? Or does Arkansas simply just need more talent? And if it needs more talent, how the hell are you going to get it when your athletic director's got his – well, anyway.
Well, yeah, I mean – there's an issue with leadership.
Mm-hmm.
That's no secret to anyone. You listen to pretty much any show that is not bought and paid for by the university, they're going to say the same thing, that there's an issue with leadership. There's been a disconnect with the fans. Now, has he done some things that the fans have asked for? Yes. He brought Coke back. He brought back Slobber and Hawg. That was pretty much a big grassroots movement there. And then, this latest thing that we're going to talk about later in the show that you're not a fan of and I am. So, I mean, is it one of these deals where maybe he's starting to, try to rebuild bridges between the common fan and leadership of the athletic department?
I'm gonna go with no, and I'm gonna tell you why. What do you
Okay.
Well, and I'm not just saying that to be a cynic. And I'm
No,
not
no,
just
no. I mean, yeah.
no, I'm not just saying that to say it. Let me explain. All right. He brought back Coke. He brought back
Right.
Slop and Hog. All right. What has he done between that and the new lights?
Well, the other thing.
Stand in front of, except stand for 3 years straight, stand in front of the biggest donors in the state here in Central Arkansas and go, hey, it's your fault we don't have NIL.
Or tell us all to be more positive.
Don't. You're trying to trigger me game one, aren't you? You're trying to get me going. You wanna be
Right
the
out the
pot-
gate, man. Right
you
out
wanna
the
be
gate.
hot kettle or the spoon?
Yeah, it's
What has he done?
I don't know, man.
It does. It boils down to what has he done for us lately? What has he done for the university lately except give us a black eye? Then you're going to go out, and I'm going to say it, and I'm sorry for the language, but this is how we do at the show. You want to go out and bitch because the kickoff times are wacko. That's what you get for playing on the West Coast.
Well, you know,
I'm
you go
on
out to
board with that.
Utah.
I'm not even sorry.
You go to Utah, you've got a 9:00 kickoff there. I mean, the SEC definitely did us no favors by scheduling Georgia at 11 a.m. the following week, but
Because they know it's going to be a blowout. And nobody
you
watch.
did I mean,
We assume it's going to be a blowout.
with the schedule, he basically said something that we've said on this show before. I know I've said it. I've talked about the scheduling and how it's pretty messed up that we get all these 11 a.m. kickoffs. I was kind of glad. I can't believe I'm doing this, but this is 2 things in a row that I'm kind of defending Yurachek on. But, I mean, a lot of people gave him flack for saying what he said. I kind of liked it. I mean, it was like, okay, well, you're finally showing some stones here, and standing up to the SEC.
I get that, and I mean, on one hand, you can say, yes, he is standing up for the university and going, hey, my guys need the opportunity to rest here.
Right.
But do you see the likes of Georgia, LSU, Ole Miss, these, and I'm gonna say it, the blue bloods of the SEC?
Yeah.
Do you not see? You don't see them bitching about the kickoff times. They might be. We don't know.
Well,
But when it boils down to the commissioner having to address that at SEC Media Days in his opening statement, you can look at it either way.
Well,
like Jonathan Parker saying, better late than never.
yeah.
Better
Well,
late than never.
and I'll say this as far as those other teams not complaining about kickoff times. You know why they're not complaining? Because they're not going 2-10 and they're not getting stuck in the last possible time slot available. I mean, you can't go 2-10 and expect to get primetime games.
What is it that you've always said in the 5 years you've been here? Winning cures all.
Oh yeah. Winning will cure almost anything, man.
Well, and as we get closer to the first game, which is the first week of September.
Yeah, September 5th, I believe.
Which is a late kickoff if you think about it, Hog fans. It's a late kickoff for us.
Yeah.
Normally we play that last week of August. Now we're playing the weekend of Labor Day, but you're up against some big games. But I do want to make one point from last year to this year. 17 points. That's the only thing I'm going to say, MC. 17 points.
Yep.
6 games, 17 points. Between 4-8 and 8-4.
2-10 and 8-4.
Or 2-10. 2-10.
Yeah.
2-10. Sorry. Math was never my strong suit. Anybody that knows
I mean, we were talking about this a little bit pre-show. At all the games that we were either leading going into the fourth quarter,
I actually have that list.
or you were within one score of being able to take the lead into the fourth quarter.
Yep.
And that's a point that some of the people that are what we would like to say pumping sunshine right now, and I guess they kind of have a fair point of if you instill some discipline and you knock out the stupid stuff, the bad turnovers, the bad penalties that end drives. If you instill some fundamentals and some discipline, who's to say that you can't win those really, really close games?
Well, funny you should mention that because I actually have the list right here.
Okay.
Ole Miss, Memphis, Tennessee, A&M, Mississippi State, and LSU were your 6 games.
Yep.
Okay? You're 3-3 going into those games. Okay? And what I mean by that is going into the fourth quarter, out of 6 games, 3 of those, you have the lead.
Yeah.
Memphis, A&M, and Mississippi State. 31-26, 35-31, 35-31, respectively. All right? And you get beat by 1 score. One of them is 1 point. The other 3, you were trailing. All right? So to circle back to our question, yes, I think a culture change would do, in addition to the talent that's already there.
Yeah.
I think it would do wonders. But it's got to be a consistent culture. It can't be, okay, we're winning, so we're going to take our foot off the pedal. No, I want to see the score ran up on some of these dudes.
That has been a pet peeve of mine. That was one of the things that I constantly hammered on Pittman about. We would get a 10, 14, 17 point lead and then suddenly stop doing everything that got us to that point and then just try to ride it out. If what you're doing is successful and builds a lead, why would you stop doing what's working? That makes no sense to me. I got a comment here I'm fixing to put up. It looks like a big one.
Yeah, so. And it's Dan Yoakum using my favorite movie against me. To quote one of your favorite movies, attitude reflects leadership. So by that alone, we're going to be better just from that alone. The only problem is getting this program turned around. A dynamic quarterback can make a mediocre team look pretty good, but unfortunately, I don't think KJ Jackson is that guy. Teams can win with a game manager at quarterback. Look at Alabama.
Yeah.
Because they got the studs in every other position. So I think it's just going to take some time to get some studs up here. But again,
I would be willing to only have studs on the line.
Okay, but what attracts the so-called studs to Arkansas? Winning.
Or it's going to be this.
Yeah, but it's got to be a combination of both. But I do like Dan's point. Dan is spot on. All right. By the way, I'll be remiss. What's up, James? I meant to say something earlier, but I kind of got on my soapbox. But Pittman was all about, I want to be the good guy. I want to be the
exactly.
Right,
yeah. Jonathan Parker nails it. He said Pittman never wanted to look like a bad guy for burying a team.
Do you honestly think that Lane Kiffin gave a damn about looking bad? What about Mike Elko?
Yeah.
Or Silverfield, for that matter.
Let's go back to the guy that I mentioned earlier. Do you think Signetti cared about what people thought when he was blowing people out left and right?
Absolutely not.
This is not a business for nice guys. Nice guys finish last. I mean, this is cutthroat, man. This is
2-10.
Yeah, I mean these are, you got to have somebody. We hear the term all the time, a dog. You got to have a dog as your head coach who's not afraid to ruffle some feathers.
Wait a minute, you're quoting your boy Calipari. Come on now.
Come on now. Hey, there's worse people that I could quote. I mean, if you'd have told me 5 years ago that I'd be quoting Calipari, I'd have had you fitted for a straitjacket. But here we are.
I will never. We're gonna end up getting you a 5-point harness this year.
Let's just say the Bahamas this weekend. Here's how excited I am for that, and then we'll get back on football. I'm probably going to end up throwing Flow Sports some money just so I can watch the games this weekend. And y'all know how I feel about Flow Sports when it comes to that baseball tournament every year down in Arlington.
I haven't watched their basketball stream. Is it any worse than the baseball?
I don't think it could be any worse.
It's just, but here's the thing, and everybody, and I'm going to ask the age-old question that everybody's been asking since was it December that he got hired?
Silverfield, yeah.
Why Arkansas? Out of all the teams, out of all the guys, out of all the coaches, why Arkansas? Well, Silverfield actually answered that question. He said, Arkansas has everything it needs to compete. SEC resources, elite facilities, passionate fan base, recruiting footprint, although I disagree with that, and then a strong tradition. Arkansas fans love to live on nostalgia. I can't tell you how many Darren McFadden clips I've seen. The North Texas punt
Oh, God.
from the dark ages.
Yeah.
You know, things like we love reliving the old stuff.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
how many? And I'm gonna say it. Don't get me wrong. I love the '94 team, but how many times you gonna honor that team in one season?
Yeah. I mean, you know.
What's going on, Matt, from our brother show?
Yeah, shout out Matt Hart.
Matt Hart.
I'm going to try to change these comments up a little bit. They're getting a little hard to read, so I'm going to find us a different style.
He clearly believes Arkansas can win big again.
Yeah, there we go.
But you guys, you got to understand, it ain't going to happen overnight. It's not going to be the instant gratification. Now, he could come in and I'm going to say it, he could come in and be the next Chad Morris. Or, hear me out,
Okay.
he could be the next Houston Nutt. We don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, tell me honestly, what do we know about this team? Absolutely nothing.
I mean, you look at the few guys that are coming back that come to my mind. KJ Jackson, Braylon Russell. There's a couple guys on defense. Rhodes is coming back.
Rhodes, yeah.
But
That's
outside of that, I mean,
that's a big one for the defense, though. I'm not.
yeah, it is.
I look for him to be, and I know the positions are different, but I look to him for him to be the leader, kind of like Landon Jackson was.
I gotta throw something out here though, because you brought up the name that we never like to mention.
Well, what are you
and,
doing?
and I got to throw this out because I saw a lot of what I feel like is unfair comparisons coming out of media day.
Right? You know you scare me when you do that, right?
Well, we got to stop with the Chad Morris PTSD, man.
Okay.
Yes,
it was
awful.
Wait. Then if we're gonna stop with the Chad Morris PTSD, we have to stop with the 2018 PTSD.
No.
Yes,
There's a major difference there.
I know
There
that.
is a major difference.
But if you're gonna, but again, it's the dark ages, all right.
But that's the 18 foul ball. I mean, you're comparing.
I know I'm comparing apples to bananas. I get that.
Not even bananas, man. We're going like apples to diesel trucks. I mean, they're just two different worlds. But
okay, now that's a line out of my book. How in the world did you connect those dots?
But the whole thing with the comparisons to Chad Morris, I don't think it's fair. It stems from the PTSD of how bad it is. And I saw something on another show, and I don't even remember who it was. I would love to give them a shout out, but I don't remember who it was that was talking about it. But they were talking about the fact that once you get outside of Arkansas and you get to the regional and sometimes even the national level, when you're talking about Arkansas football, one of the things that still comes up is Chad Morris. And it's like, okay, it's been almost 10 years ago now. It's time to let that go.
That long?
Well, 19, I mean, it's been 7 years. This is 26, so we're closer to 10 than we are to 5. So
it feels like it's
I'm
going to give you credit. You sat here in this studio 3 years ago, and I think it was right after the 9-3 season, 9-4 season, when we went to the Outback Bowl. All right, you sat here and said Pittman needs to retire, or he's going to leave the program in worse shape, if not the same shape that Chad Morris left it in. And did you not just nail it on the freaking head?
I mean, I did not want to be right about that.
I mean, you hit that bullseye dead on. You didn't miss right or left at all.
After, you had the 9-win season, you went down a little bit the next year, but you still had a respectable season. I think they 7 wins, maybe. I don't remember.
I don't agree with the respectable part, but you had a winning season.
But you had a winning season. You went to a bowl game, and that, comparatively speaking to what we were coming out of, people were still like, "Yeah, we probably should have won a couple more games, but we'll take this." But it just kind of steadily, declined after after that 9-win season. You know, hindsight's 2020, but my whole thing was if he retires after that one season, he's put stock back in the program, he's put some credibility back into it, and he walks away a god.
Yeah.
I mean, if you think about it, he comes in and that after that 2021 season, if he's like, you know what, hey, I got this thing on solid footing, I got my opportunity, now I'm ready to ride off into the sunset. Who knows what happens at that point? I mean, that's one of the big what ifs, but you know, from his perspective, I could kind of see his mindset of, hey, maybe we can keep this thing going, you know.
Yeah, but at some point, I mean, and even in his last year, you saw everybody could tell when they finally just
dude, he checked out.
Let go of the rope.
Yeah,
you know,
he completely checked out. In that, I mean, that Notre Dame game was horrible. Like, it's like, why did we even show up for that game? Because Pittman and the you know, the majority of the staff were so checked out at that point that it was just.
Now look, I usually sit through losses like that. Like I sat through Oklahoma State a couple years ago.
Yeah.
I couldn't watch that game last year. I every time I looked at it, it just kept getting. It's like one of those things. It's like a bad car wreck. You don't want to watch it, but you can't look away.
But you can't look away. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But it's not one of those where you're like, I wonder what's going to happen next.
Well, and I've been saying for the last couple of weeks, I'm just like, man, I'm not excited. I'm not feeling it. But as we get close, I mean, by the time we get to September 5th, I'm going to be there. I'm going to turn it on. You know, I'm going to contain my hope because they should go out and just absolutely steamroll. Is it North Alabama, I think, is who they're playing?
Alabama.
You know,
and I'm it's one of those things when don't put a lot of stock in that North Alabama. Don't come out of that game going,
exactly. Yes.
You're supposed to blow these people out.
Yeah, it's like the Pine Bluff game a couple years ago. You know,
now I drank the Kool-Aid a little too much on that one. I'm not even.
Well, a lot of people did. I'm not
gonna lie.
And nostalgia played a part in that too.
It is, and it was, you know, it was one of the last games at you know, War Memorial Stadium.
Well, and you had Bobby back as your OC.
Yeah.
You know, we Hog fans, as you pointed out, we love our nostalgia, man. And
look at where Bobby P's at now in North Carolina. How'd that work out?
You know what? I hope.
But here's the thing: his comeback and his circle, complete in my book.
I hope North Carolina has the best offense in the ACC this year.
Absolutely,
I really do. I don't have any issues with him. You know, he come back. You know, last year was. I don't put any blame on him for last year. He took over interim. Yeah. He took over in basically a no-win position, and it truly was a no-win position.
No-win scenario. It was like Kobayashi Maru. Do me a favor before you put that one up there. Put Elizabeth back up there.
Okay. I'll come back to you, Eric.
Yeah, well, they kind of go hand in hand. One of the biggest differences from the old school to the current way and how they play, there's a lot. Money has a lot to do with it. You go back, 20, 30 years? Well, 30 years now. You're playing smash mouth football for the pride, for the name on the front of the jersey. Nowadays, these kids, they're playing for money. Mm-hmm. They're not playing for, hey, I can get to the NFL. Hey, I can get the national championship.
No, they want their money now.
They want. I mean, look at Arch Manning. Arch Manning, mediocre quarterback last year, $2.5 million.
Because of what his last name was.
What 18-year-old needs $2.5 million? That's another soapbox I'm going to stay off of because we can do a whole new episode on that.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of, I mean, the game itself from 20, 30 years ago to now, completely different.
100%, because if you look back to 30 years ago is...
Yeah, that's where Eric's comment comes in. He says the job has changed. With the advent of NIL, he had to become a GM, a job he was never meant to have and had no skill set for Pittman. Should have exited stage left after the 9-win season for sure. And again, that's going to be everybody's consensus looking at the last 3 years of Pittman's tenure.
Well, not only do you have, you've got the money aspect, you've got the NIL, you've got college programs being run like NFL franchises now with GMs and all of these analysts. I mean, you think back to the last couple years that Saban was at Alabama. And, the running joke was you had the Saban rehab program.
Yeah.
Coaches would get fired, and then he would bring them in
Look at Troy Lane Kiffin.
Yeah.
He's the only.
Mario Cristobal. He's another one.
Well, I got a point for Lane Kiffin.
Okay.
Only coach to have 3 SEC schools.
Yeah.
Only coach in history 3 SEC schools.
Yeah.
Tennessee, Ole Miss, and LSU. And look at how and I'm gonna say it. Look at how he's matured every time.
Yeah, I think Mississippi fans would argue with you on the maturing thing, but he has. He's different coming out of Mississippi than he was when he went in, to an extent. As far as the coaching side of things. Look, I've been a Lane Kiffin guy. I've always liked him.
No.
I've got some Mississippi friends that
I was going to say, if you got Mississippi closet, you need your Hawg.
No,
right.
man, I got some friends in Mississippi that they turned on him pretty quickly, but if you mention the name, you can see steam kind of come off their heads to begin with. But he's matured as a coach. Lane is going to be Lane. He's still going to do some of the brash things that he's done everywhere he's been, and hey, if you've got a ticket to Vaught Hemingway on September 19th, you could probably name your price to sell that thing right now.
There is no other games on that day except that one. I don't give a damn.
Yeah.
And I want them both to lose.
I would love to go and just people watch that game.
Yes. I will show up in my Razorback gear and just sit out. What are you doing here? I'm just here to watch.
Yeah. I'm just here for a good time, man.
Right.
Watch those frat boys in their sport coats and drinking their old charter that they stash inside that sport coat.
Right.
Battle with the Cajuns that are coming up because
tell me that's a night game.
It is. It absolutely is, because when they released the schedule, the Oxford PD, this was hilarious. If I could find it, I'd pull it up. They went to Twitter, quoted the tweet from the SEC about that being a night game, and then put a little meme with it of a sarcastic guy going, "Yay!" So because they know what's coming, man. You're going to have the Cajun Navy's going to come up from Louisiana like Ride of the Valkyries, and they're going to invade Oxford, and it's going to be. Dude, it's going to be wild.
That's going to be. Hey, we are up against the break. We're going to get to Jonathan Parker's comment because we're going to talk about the schedule, but more talk about how Arkansas's expectations are going into the season, and a whole lot more. You're watching the season premiere of Inside the Hog Pen. Back right after this.
Attention Razorback fans and local businesses. Are you ready to reach the most passionate Arkansas sports fans out there? Introducing Inside the Hog Pen, not your normal Razorback talk show. We're fans first and don't try to hide it. No agendas, no propaganda. At Inside the Hog Pen, we call it like we see it. And now we're looking for sponsors to join the team. This is your chance to put your brand in front of thousands of loyal Razorback fans who live and breathe Arkansas sports. From small businesses to major brands, we have sponsorship packages tailored just for you. So let's grow together and make Inside the Hog Pen bigger and better. Don't miss out. Call 501-416-4331 or email us today at insidethehogpen@gmail.com and become a proud sponsor of Inside the Hog Pen.
All right, welcome back to Season 10 premiere of Inside the Hog Pen. Razorback Zach, Marcus, MC, Carlton hanging out with you. All right, so we're continuing on of our expectations of Ryan Silverfield and the Arkansas Razorbacks entering into the 2026-2027 football season. And Jonathan Parker says, how crazy would it be if we pulled off the upset at Utah? What would that do for the season? Well, here's the thing, okay? You've got, let me pull a schedule up here. You have Georgia the next week. And MC and I have kind of gone back and forth on this. Would you be okay going 1-1?
Between those two games? Absolutely.
Okay, so which one would you rather have? A win against Utah and a blowout loss against Georgia? Or a loss against Utah and a skin of your teeth win against Georgia?
I'm going to take the Georgia game. That one is going to
conference game, and I know the obvious answer. Don't nobody jump in the comments and go, "You're an idiot." You would take the conference win. Look, in my little brain, I want to go 2-0 during that. But that and the Georgia game, both of them, JP, those are the, and I've said it since the season was really, or the schedule was released. Those are the two games you have to watch for, because that will tell you where the mental toughness.
Couple things about Utah that I feel like we got to point out too. They're breaking in a new coach, new coaching staff. Kyle Whittingham left. First off, he retired from Utah, and then the Michigan job came open, and suddenly he's at Michigan now.
Suddenly he said, "Hey, I'm not retired."
Yeah, he's like, I may retire to take the Michigan job. So he goes to Michigan. They're breaking in a whole new staff, just like Arkansas is. I don't know what their roster looks like as far as transfers and everything, but they've got to have some coming in. The other thing is, let's not forget who signed with Utah in the offseason.
Gee, what's
Is he going to play? Maybe, maybe not. We don't know.
Wait. That was on Final Jeopardy last night.
Yeah, Mr. Greenwood.
It's gotta be Kane. It's gotta be. I had to.
Yeah.
I know. I'm an idiot sometimes, but hey, I just realized we've swapped this.
I did that on purpose when I brought us back up. So yeah, now everything's right with the world. I feel like I'm in the correct seat now.
Now we're good.
Yes.
But JP, to circle back to your point, going into Tulsa, you're not going to be 3-0. You're okay. You're okay being 2-1, 1-2. I'm sorry, 3-1.
He's saying 3-1 after the first four.
After the first four, if you're 3-1, who's after Tulsa?
After Tulsa is A&M. So you would be 3-1 going to A&M.
Is that at College Station?
Yes.
If we're and I'm gonna call my shot now. If we're 3-1 going into A&M, that's a ranked matchup.
Yeah, I would agree.
That's a ranked matchup. If we're 3-1, it would be absurd. Now, here's the only thing, because obviously Georgia and Utah are going to be ranked.
Mm-hmm.
If you lose one, depending on how bad you lose, if you lose one but win the other, don't they kind of cancel each other out? You might slip in at 24-25, maybe.
Yeah, I could see that, because let's say you slip by Utah in a close one, 28-24, something like that.
Yeah.
On the road,
That'll put you
at night. That's gonna count a little more. Now, if you come back home the next week and just get absolutely dog stomped. Yes, I like that term.
That was an unintentional pun.
Yeah. So I like that.
Wait,
so if you come home and you get beat 51-10 or something like that, it negates whatever energy you built from the upset at Utah.
Well,
but if you come home and let's say you lose 31-17.
Doesn't that play into the kickoff times though? Hey, we couldn't play against Georgia. We weren't ready. Look, I like what Silverfield said. I don't care what time of day it is. You put us out on that field, we're going to play, and we're going to play hard.
Right.
All right. Now
you got to play the schedule in front of you. So
whether that holds true or not is a completely different story.
Yeah.
But the quarterback battle is what worries me, because I saw how well. Here's the thing. And again, everybody's going to argue it's the spring game. Don't put too much. I don't look at schemes. I don't look at that.
Right.
I look at the talent level. I look at the competitiveness between the guys. And what I saw at the spring game scared the holy hell out of me.
I don't put stock in spring games at all.
Well, here's and again, it could be used as a strategic advantage, and that's fine. If that's the way he wants to play, that's fine. That's why he gets paid the big bucks, and I'm doing this stuff for free. If anybody wants to pay us, though.
Yeah, I mean, we're open to getting paid. If anybody wants to sign up for that,
But he wouldn't name a starter. And he says every position is earned.
Mm-hmm.
Competition is what makes everybody better.
Yep. I'm good with that. Yeah.
Fall camp is where is where the microscope should be.
Yeah.
Okay, because you've gone through spring ball. They don't have the excuse. Well, he's not here a full year. Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is. These are his guys. Okay, there's maybe one or two that were Pittman's guys, but this is his team. When he signed that dotted line, this is his team.
Yeah, he inherited it. Yeah,
I'm gonna say it now. This quarterback competition hinges, and it may define this season. That's where it all starts.
Yeah, it could. I go back.
My question out there is,
Oh,
who gives Arkansas the best chance to win Week 1?
Jonathan Parker, get out of my head. I swear to you, this is the conversation Zach and I had pre-show. We had this exact conversation pre-show because I said the same thing. I said it's him playing it's Silverfield kind of playing mind games, not wanting KJ to get too comfortable as the starter because everybody thinks he's going to be the guy. Nobody thinks that A.J. Hill is going to come in and overtake K.J. Jackson. Will he? I don't know. He might not. I don't know.
We've only got 2 non-conference. We've only got 2 lower-tier games, North Alabama and Tulsa. Tulsa's not a joke, though. But here's the thing.
You can't sleep on Tulsa.
And right now, I wouldn't sleep on North Alabama.
No. Coming off 2-10, you're not in a position to sleep on anybody.
No. But I think going into North Alabama, which is Week 1, all right, that's a game you're supposed to win. Yeah, you're supposed to win it by halftime, but to each his own there. I think you're going to see both quarterbacks that game.
Oh, without a doubt.
If we're up by 20, 30 points, and we're just cruising at that point, put A.J. Hill in. Let's see what he can do.
I'm of the opinion that
you can't. But MC, you cannot judge these 2 guys on a lesser quarter. Throw one out there against Georgia. Throw one out there against Utah. I mean, you can't do any worse than.
Well, I'm of the opinion that if we make it to halftime of the North Alabama game, and you've only seen one quarterback, that game is way closer than it needs to be.
Well, what game was it last year that we kept saying, you're going to have to pull Talon. You're going to pull Talon. Why are you not pulling him?
Yeah, I don't remember now, but I remember our text conversations about that.
It was you, me, and Dylan, and we were just take him out, get him out of there, get him out of there. It boils down to exactly that's what I just said.
Yep.
We need to if Silverfield knows what he's doing, he's going to play them both against Northern Alabama. And I'm not saying he's putting A.J. Hill in with 5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter so he can just take knees for the rest of the game.
Right.
I'm not talking about that. I think you're going to see A.J. Hill come out that first series of at least, at very minimum, the third quarter.
See, I would go, man, I want to see him before that because if the offense is doing what they should do against a team like North Alabama, let these other guys get in and get some work before they start pulling their main guys and putting scrubs in. Let me
throw a scenario out. And like I said, if you guys are brand new to our show, we have a lineup, but we're here for the fans by the fans. That's our motto. We drive you guys. We have what we're gonna plan to talk about, but ultimately, y'all drive the conversation.
Yep. We see the comments pop up. That's where we're going.
Yep. So here's the thing. How long do you leave KJ in? Like, say he comes out and he's struggling.
Mm-hmm.
How long do you leave him in before you put AJ in?
I think it depends on what your defense is allowing on the other side of the ball.
Which initial are you going to put in first?
Yeah, AJ, KJ.
No, I mean, okay, and I'm going to play the dumb card. I'm not dumb. I promise you I'm not. Well, I'm not as dumb as I look sometimes. But, again, let's play the common sense question here. Is the quarterback position kind of like the pitcher on a mound? Do you leave him in there to see if he can get himself out of the jam, or do you pull him the minute he starts struggling?
That's a pretty solid comparison there.
Where's the teachable moment there if you're gonna pull him as soon as he struggles? Good example. If you throw an interception, that's gonna screw you up mentally.
Right.
But you're gonna go back out there the next series.
Yeah. And I'm going to give the political answer here and say I think that's when it comes back to a coach knowing his players and knowing who is more capable of putting that bad play behind them and starting fresh on the next series, or does this player have the mindset of that interception is going to stay right here in the back of his head? That's when it comes down to your offensive coordinator and your head coach knowing your quarterback and being like, okay, I think he can work through this. He can work himself out of this. You know, I expect him to come back and throw a 70-yard bomb, you know, to get a score.
But at the same time, and JP makes a good point, if he's not moving the offense after the third series, I agree to a point, but I also disagree. Let me tell you why I disagree. You got to get him to work out of the jam first, just like a pitcher, right? Got to get him because if you pull him that early, you're just gonna and Eric Jernigan says it, you're gonna kill it. You're gonna kill his mental state, everything. All right. If he gets halfway through the first quarter and he's still struggling to move the offense, yeah, you're gonna have to pull him. But here's the other question. What do you do if you put AJ in there and
it's no better? Yeah.
It's no better. So now what do you do?
Yeah, Nick Starkel's not walking through that door.
Oh, whoa. And you're wanting us to let go of that name out there? You just triggered 90% of the base with that.
Sparkle Starkle.
Whew.
Man.
Oh my goodness! Let's move on from that.
Yeah, we got to get away from that. You know,
boy, you
I couldn't resist, man. You hung the curveball there. I had to nail that one. So
look, I'm with Eric. Do not speak of this.
Yeah, we did not speak. Yeah, him and his Justin Bieber T-shirt. Yeah.
Okay, so we'll dive deeper the closer we get to kickoff. We'll talk transfer portal. Leader, you know, like the leadership, his recruiting philosophy, things like that as it gets closer. I gotta get something off my chest though. I do. I get how do I go about this? I get the game day atmosphere needs to be improved greatly. Okay, I get that. I'm the one that's been bitching about it for 2.5 years now. Because if you look at LSU, you look at Alabama, you look at Georgia, you look at all these throw Vanderbilt in there now. They've all got decent game day atmospheres. You look at Arkansas and it's like, ooh, ah. Here's the thing. A couple of things of pyro is not going to change the atmosphere if you get blown out 52-10. Okay? So what do? We go get lasers and new lights. Why? We don't play night games at Razorback Stadium. Okay, let me rephrase that. We don't play high-profile games at Razorback Stadium at night. We don't. And so these things, to me, these new lasers and these new lights don't mean diddly squat if you don't play night games. That's just me. That's like playing. Hey, we got drones. Well, you can't see them at 11 o'clock in the morning.
God, you're gonna make me defend your check again. I don't have a problem with the lights. I don't have a problem with the lights.
Payback's a mother, ain't it?
But
let's payback.
This is
comment.
this is a better, to me. This is a better late than never kind of deal, because how many times have we sit on here and pissed and moaned about the game day atmosphere? Like you said, you know, I talked about it a couple years ago when I went down to Oxford and watched us lose yet another close game down there. Atmosphere was insane. But this is something we've all been clamoring about. We're like, everybody in the SEC's got this except us. Why don't we have it? Why don't we have it? Why are we not getting this kind of stuff? He gets it, and he brings it in after, and I think it's some of the Community America money that's coming in that's allowing this to happen.
Ka-chow.
Yeah, the cars, Community America Razorback Stadium, cars.
Something else we're going to talk about as we get closer to kickoff.
But I mean, everybody just like completely lit into him on this on Twitter. I was kind of like, okay, well, we're finally going to get it. I mean, we'll see how cool it looks against Tulsa. You've
got to see where I'm coming from, though. You've got to.
No, I get it, but I mean, if he does, okay, so if he doesn't do it, and we go yet another year and we see how cool everybody else's atmosphere is, like, well, hell, here we are again. We still don't have,
Here's the difference between us and other programs. They've got winning records.
Very true. Very true.
Why would you upgrade something when you're going 2-10 every year?
Well, and Dan Yoakum has a fair point here. He says you wouldn't have to worry about that if you threw as much money as you can at the offensive line and then go get the best lower-level, huge running quarterback. Do that and then slowly work in a finesse quarterback once the program gets back on track. Well, I mean,
worry about the play on the field.
You can throw the money. You can throw the money at them, but even with the money, they still want to win. So,
well, but at the same time, though.
And how much money do we I mean,
here's the thing.
I still feel like we're way behind on the money thing.
We are, because our AD can't stop putting his foot in his freaking mouth when he comes to the touchdown club every year. Let's talk. Now that you've mentioned the athletic director, let's see you defend this boy.
I'm not in that. I don't like having to defend him because I'm not a fan.
No. Since you're already 2-0 on defending him, let's go ahead and point fingers at the fan base again because they're not positive.
So whatever. Look,
it's only episode 1.
We got to reel it in a little bit, but I'll say this, man. The whole thing of the fans being blamed yet again is getting old because we're still the ones out here footing the bill for the tickets. We're donating to whichever version of the Razor Edge or whatever it's called this week, the Hunter Red Nose Clown Show Fund, whatever.
I didn't take it
whatever we're calling it this week, we're still the ones out here footing the bill for it. And, you're coming out and telling us, well, we just need to be more positive. Well, what exactly is there to be positive about coming off 2-10?
The new lights.
Okay, I mean, hey, I'll give him that one. Okay, that's one. Subtract one away from the 6,487 negative comments that he has. So we'll take that one off of there. We'll take that one off.
Other teams are celebrating, hey, we beat a rival. Hey, we won the Iron Bowl. Arkansas is celebrating. We got new lights that we can't use. Come on,
does that not fit into the Arkansas stereotype of no electricity, barefoot, and outhouses?
Here's the thing. Look, I want to make one thing clear. I'm not a negative Nancy. Okay, I'm a realist. Anybody that has watched the show the last 10 years knows I call it like I see it. I'm very opinionated because I like the Razorbacks so much. Look at the wall behind me, and if y'all were in this office right now, you'd understand. But come on, at some point, somebody's going to have to say something that we're all thinking, and I've just got the cojones to come out and do it.
It's. I mean. I come back and I made it after the whole thing with the lights come out. I come out and I said, hey, I'll give credit where credit's due. That's something we've been begging for, and we're finally getting it. And then not 24, 48 hours later, he turns around and is mad at the fans because we're not all Rick Schaefer level sunshine pumpers.
Well, you know why, right? I gave you your lights. Now you got to, quid pro quo. I gave you your lights. Now you got to do something for me. Give me something.
Keep the lights and give me a win.
Thank you. Look, I'm all for keeping a positive attitude. I'm all for that. Don't get me wrong. But give me something to be positive about. I don't give a damn about the lights. I don't give a damn about the pyro. I want to win on the field. I want to see the talent on the field. If it's not producing on the field, what do I got to be happy about?
There's two ways to get me to pump Sunshine.
Okay.
All right. One of them is you put me on the payroll at the university. You put me on the payroll. I'll be pumping Sunshine so hard that the two dudes on the morning radio show won't have anything on me.
Yeah, they won't hold a candle to us.
Yeah, exactly. The other way is win some games.
And I mean,
if you are familiar with this show at all, and you've watched during basketball season, there ain't a bigger Sunshine pumper out there than me. All right, the spring of Kool-Aid is never ending. I mean, it just constantly flows like a nonstop river. Okay,
Dad,
so it's there.
Wait a second. You can't be doing this episode 1, man. Come on. And it's decoration. All right.
But you gotta win some ball games if you want me to be positive.
He said,
or you put me on the payroll.
He says I got a Liberty Bowl flag. Wow. I like it. But I'm pumping Sunshine. Wow. If you only saw what else is on this wall, you'd
yeah. No, I mean, so what? Okay, so let me ask you this.
Okay.
And we'll dive deeper into this as we get closer. What is a result from this year that I don't want to say it would make you pump Sunshine, but it would sway the needle from negative over here where we are right now to the positive side?
Preseason or during the season? I mean, like
whatever. Take your pick, man.
During the season, I mean, you don't have to. I'm not going to sit here and go win 12-0. No, you're not realistic.
No, let's keep it on planet Earth.
If you a couple of things, all right, and of course every old head is going to go beat Texas. That's like
that.
4 months. Well, but that's 4 months down the road.
Yeah, right.
All right, you got what, like 6 games ahead of that, 7 games ahead of that. Be competitive against Utah. You don't win. If you lose, that's okay. All right, I'm okay with a loss there. All right, and now if it's a blowout and we're laying down and taking it up the tailpipe, that's a little different. But if you're competitive and you still lose, and I'm talking competitive from the opening kickoff to the final buzzer. All right.
Okay.
I'm not talking about hey, we're up, we're gonna take our foot off the gas. You
so
come
lose another close game, basically.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's Arkansas. It's not losing, it's winning with a moral victory. In all honesty, be competitiveness. Show me the aggression. Keep your foot on the pedal. Keep your foot on the throat of your opponent.
Yeah.
Don't care. Oh, I'm gonna go get him a cold beer after the game. Look, you guys can be the best of friends, but for the next 60 minutes, the only goal you have right now is to kick the shit out of him.
Yeah.
No matter what.
I would agree.
But a win against A&M is one of them. A win against Auburn, you know how I feel about Auburn.
How about just winning a close game period? And not blowing a fourth quarter lead or not fumbling with a minute 51 left when you're 40 yards away from a game-winning drive.
Yeah.
Close out some of these games where it feels like you've got the victory, like it's right here. All you got to do is close your fist around it. And we've not been able to do that.
Hang on just a second. I want to pull a stat from last year.
I mean, that, for me, I don't want to put a win total on it because honestly, anything above 2-10 is going to be improvement. But pull out some of these tight ones.
Let's take the A&M and the Mississippi State game from last year.
Okay.
All right. Both of them were 35-31 going into the fourth quarter. If you hold on to the rope and you still play aggressive, those are wins right there.
Yeah. I would argue that if you just play good, solid, fundamentally strong football, you're winning those games.
All you got to do is stick to the fundamentals. I know I keep messing with the mic. I'm messing with the settings between shows and stuff. It's not a nervous tick where I'm, want to do one of those things.
I mean, you could even apply that same thing to the Tennessee game too.
Now the LSU game, you're trailing going into the fourth quarter. You lose by 1.
Yeah.
Okay. Situation. You take care of the football. I just want to see him take care of the football.
Yeah. There were a lot of, I don't remember how, I looked it up a couple weeks ago at how many turnovers we had on the season, and then game by game, how many of these turnovers came in the fourth quarter. And the number was just like astronomical of, and you know, turning the ball over at any point's bad, but when you turn the ball over in the fourth quarter, that can swing all the momentum in a game. And we saw last year it happened time after time after time.
20 turnovers. 20 turnovers. 11 interceptions, 9 fumbles. 11 interceptions, 9 and how many 20. Of those?
9 fumbles is way too many. That's 9 miles of running after Coach Boone breaks his foot off in your John Brown hind parts. I mean, that's, you know, and maybe that's what Silverfield needs to do. You drop a ball, you fumble the football, you know, I'm going to break my foot off in your backside, and then you're going to run a mile.
I got your other answer. 8.
Okay. 8.
40% happened in the fourth quarter. Let me break it down a little bit further. All right.
God.
Memphis, you fumbled on the potential game-winning drive. Auburn, 4 against Auburn. Against an Auburn team that was mediocre at best.
At best, yeah. They were not. Well,
they were mediocre.
It tells you a lot because they're breaking in a new coach this year just like us. 2
interceptions, 17 unanswered points on turnovers.
Insane,
17
man.
unanswered points against Auburn. You can't have that.
No.
Mississippi State, LSU, and Missouri all had 1. So, again, I go back to 17 points. 17 points. All you got to do is take care of the football.
Yeah.
All you've got to do is take care of the football. And you're 8-4, and we're having a completely different conversation.
Well, and honestly, if we're 8-4, it's a pretty good chance Silverfield's not here.
No.
You know.
I think now, I mean, again, you're 17 points. The conversation could go thousands of different ways.
Yeah.
Okay. He could have retired. Silverfield still could have got here.
Yeah.
We don't know. But the fact is we're here now, and I feel like this is just an every year thing. I feel like with the same story, different time. You know?
It kind of feels that way. I mean, it's just, you know, there's not been a whole lot to be positive about, you know, to go back to your check's comment about the fans need to be more positive. There's not been much to be positive about when it comes to football.
Pump a little sunshine real quick. Get this. We can spin this and be positive about it. Nobody expects us to do diddly crap.
That's true. That's very true.
Nobody.
You got a chance to catch several people off guard. Yeah.
So we could potentially be a trap game for a lot of teams this year. Texas being one of them. A&M being one of them. LSU. That LSU team, that one scares me a little bit.
We got to go. Well, we got to go. Let's see. No, they come here this year.
Oh, LSU's in Fayetteville.
Yeah, I was on last year's schedule. So,
but nobody's expecting you to do anything.
No, nobody expects anything.
So here's the thing: if I'm Silverfield, that's bulletin board material, as KJ Jefferson used to call it.
Well, and I want to say this: you brought up that LSU game. How good does it feel to have that game back where it belongs on the final week of the season?
Still not on Black Friday.
Win, lose. Well, there's a chance. I'm not. You know, there's still a chance that it could get moved to Black Friday. Not as good a chance as there once was, but the fact that it's back on that weekend, because that just screams Thanksgiving weekend.
Y'all really want to see the fan base and MC kind of go berserk? Put that game back at War Memorial, and then we'll talk.
Yeah, that ain't happening. War Memorial is dead, man.
It is.
War Memorial is Mitch McConnell. It's gone.
Wow. Did you really? Wow. You really went there. Oh, my God.
It's not to be seen. It's not to be heard from. It's just gone. So that's
It's
where we
only
are.
episode 1, and you went
Yeah.
there.
All right. So are we ready to pump some sunshine here to close this show out?
Yeah, because and again, we've been negative, but that's again,
We have.
we're realists. This is, I mean, it's episode 1. By the time episode 5 gets here, I'll be singing a different tune probably, but guys, we're Razorback fans through and through.
Yeah.
Again, our biggest thing is we call it like we see it.
If we didn't care, we wouldn't yap about everything that's wrong, because it wouldn't be that big of a deal, because we don't care. You know, it's kind of it reminds me of, you know, when I would get in trouble for something as a kid, and my folks would come to me and say, "Son, I'm punishing you for this because I love you and I want you to be better." Okay, I love the program. I love being a fan. I want it to be better. That's why I get so upset, and that's why I get so negative about things, is because I've seen it be better. I know it can be better.
Here's the thing. We've not seen the potential out of the football program in a very, very long time.
Very long time.
The closest we got was probably during Bobby P's years. And he could, never mind. That's another thing we've got to get over too.
Yeah.
But again, I'm cautiously optimistic, but just like every season when it comes to football, I'm a nervous wreck right now.
Show me something to be positive about.
Show me something to be positive about.
Literally win me back.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all it's going to take. So, all right, Jonathan's got one last football question, and then we'll switch gears and close this thing out. When does camp start? I think they report this weekend.
Yeah,
is that right?
This weekend, and
Okay.
I think camp starts Monday.
I think that's right.
Let me verify that.
So, okay, we've been negative Nellies. We've been the bane of Hunter's existence because we're fans that are not being positive.
Oh, I plan on being a pain in his ass all season.
So now it's time to pump a little bit of sunshine.
You can't even talk.
I'm so pumped up now because we're getting ready to talk hoops. Because guess what? This weekend we have basketball. This weekend on live stream. Now it's Flow Sports.
It is.
But it's still basketball. We get to see this #1 recruiting class in the country as Razorbacks for the first time. We get to see Jordan Smith Jr. We get to see Billy Goat back in the Hawg uniform. We get to see Slim Jesus. We get to see all the big 7-footers that are coming into the program. We get to see J.J. Andrews. All of these dudes that we've heard all of this stuff about. If you do a little 1-month Flow Sports subscription, you're get to see the games this weekend, and you can see the schedule coming across the bottom of the screen there. Friday, Saturday, Monday, Tuesday are the days that they play, and it's all on Flow Sports. So I'm gonna pull the schedule up, make it a little bigger so I can see it.
They're not doing a radio broadcast. Chuck's not calling the game.
I don't know. I haven't heard anything about that, and I know the team is already down there, and Chuck was on the radio this morning in the studio, so I'm guessing maybe he's not going with them. But Friday night, 6 o'clock Arkansas time, they're going to play the Bahamas national team. Saturday at 5 o'clock, they're playing, this is not affiliated with me, but it's Carleton University. And then Monday, August 3rd, they're going to play Toros del Valle. That's another professional team from the Bahamas areas, the tropics, I guess. And then Tuesday, August 4th, and this is the only one. That one's at 11 a.m. I don't know why that one's at 11 a.m. I guess it's so they can catch a flight and get back Tuesday night. 11 a.m. they're going to play the University of Calgary. Now, they're not the only team doing this Bahamas thing, because Louisville has been down there playing some of these same teams. I know they were struggling against the Bahamas national team the other day when they played. Let's see, what is today? Today's Wednesday. They played them Sunday or Monday, and there was no streaming available on it, but you could get a score off Twitter. And the early score I saw is that they were down and struggling big time early in that game. I never saw the final score, but it was the same Bahamas national team. So, Flow Sports this weekend. You get Friday, Saturday, Monday, Tuesday. We get 4 games that has to tide us over until mid-October when we're going to get the exhibition games coming up for hoops.
Chris Sylvester and Matt Zimmerman are going to be on the call for all 4 games, but it doesn't look like it's going to be carried on the radio.
Okay.
Matt Zimmerman's going to be part of the commentary team on Flow Sports.
On Flow Sports? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, there you go.
So there's your update on that. Real quick before we get to final thoughts, Casey Sutton's in the house, dude. Season 10, our longest fan, number 1.
There you go.
ITHP royalty. What's up, Casey? You're a little late, Casey.
Yeah.
What happened? No, I'm
well,
kidding.
kind of like Hunter with the lights. Better late than never.
Wow,
So-
come on. Did you?
Oh man. Yeah, I'm in mid-season form already, man. I'm ready. I'm ready.
Look, the closer we get to hoops, the more insufferable you're going to get.
Oh, dude. I will be so obnoxious come hoops time. It won't even be funny.
Real quick, I know we're in overtime, but you know what? It's our show and we don't get paid for it. So there you go. I am back on the Dave Ellswick show Friday mornings, 8:30 to 9. 8:30 to 9 starting this Friday. But I wanted to mention something. I've got a buddy in the wood engraving, wood design business, if you call it. He makes stuff like this. I don't know if you can see that. But he can pretty much do anything. He can pretty much do anything you want. Name is Scott Isaacs. If you want that information, just hit me up, DM me. Real inexpensive. He can pretty much make anything you want, be done in about a day or 2. But I have his contact info if you guys are interested in that. Plus, our boy Justin Ashmore is doing helmets.
Nice.
So reach out to him if you guys want a helmet. I know he's got a few coming in. I'm not exactly sure 100% of what it is. I think one's an LSU and one's a Tennessee helmet. So if you guys know anybody that are fans, reach out to him. They are 2 big fans of our show. They've been both Scott and Justin both have been following us for a very long time. So other than that, final thoughts, MC.
Man, I don't have a whole lot. I know we're getting close. We're getting ready for football. I spent all day doing high school football media day here in the NEA. A lot of schools, and that just that's just more proof that we're one step closer to football being here, man. We're just a few weeks out.
Well, I guess it's my turn to close this out then, huh?
Yep.
10 years, man. If you'd have told me 10 years ago that I'd still be doing this and still be having this much fun, I wouldn't have believed you. But it's a testament. It's a testament to not only MC, man. I mean, this dude's been a gold mine for 5 years, and every day he pushes me to be better every week. But I wouldn't. We would not be here if it weren't for you guys. I know we don't always say and do the right thing half the time. I don't anyway, but. We're here, season 10. Again, we call it like we see it.
Yep.
And like we said earlier, as long as you guys keep showing up, we're going to be here. But I'm really thankful for every one of you guys. Me personally, for being around for the last 10 years and following me. Y'all have made this a heck of a lot of fun. And dude, MC, 5 years, but
yeah.
it feels like you've been around for the whole time. So. I'm a very appreciative, very grateful individual tonight, and this will probably be our best year yet. The dynamic, and I say it, no offense to Matt, Adam, and DP, but the most dynamic duo in all of Hawg podcast. Love you, Matt. Love you, buddy. But
they're a trio. There's 3 of them. They're a trio.
They're a trio. But other than that, same bat time. Same bat channel next week, Wednesday, 8 p.m. Well, are we going to back it up to 7, or do you want to do 8 again?
We'll stick with 8 for right now, and then as we get into the season, we might go back to 7. It just kind of depends on how everybody's schedule's going. So we'll stick with 8 for right now.
Right. That's going to do it for us. For Marcus MC Carlton, I'm Razorback Zach. Thank you for listening to Inside the Hog Pen. Until next time, so long, everybody.
The Arkansas